So this is slowly becoming one of my favorite spots here in Tokyo. It's right in Ginza. It overlooks the street. It's beautiful. And the best part is, today I'm here with some company. I'm here with one of my favorite YouTubers right here in Tokyo.
Hi!
With a little help, I'm doing my first Q&A today. Until recently, I haven't been active enough on Twitter for me to do my own Q&A. But I really wanted to do one, so today we're gonna meet up with Sharla. We have to find her first. I think I found her. Yo, long time no see.
Long time no see.
I've been good, how about you?
Yeah,
how long has it been now? Over a year easily.
No.
If you don't know Sharla, Sharla is an awesome Japan-focused YouTuber. You can check out her channel up here, or I'll also link it below. We're shooting another video for an exciting project that I'm going to be launching for you guys. And we've stopped for lunch, but really this is the start of our day, so. Sharla and I just finished the other video that we're doing. That'll be coming up on the channel soon, most likely on a Thursday, so keep your eyes open for that. How was it?
Nice and cool. I'm not happy to be back outside now.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was really awesome exploring somewhere that I've never been before.
Now, we're gonna head to a Asakusa, see if we can't grab. There's this Coke coffee in Japan, alright?
It's a new thing that exists.
That is our goal for today. After a bit of searching, Sharla and I found out that this Coke coffee is only available in vending machines.
Yeah.
And the hunt begins. First vending machine. Ah, no.
Oh, it's not Coke though. It'd be cool if they were both like weird types of Coke.
And this is a Coke vending machine. What?
What are you doing, Coke?
What's going on here?
Oh.
Alright, I love how we're at the first vending machine and you're already like, what the hell?
But like, if it's not in a Coke vending machine, where are we gonna find it?
I'm really starting to think that this doesn't actually exist.
It's all a lie.
How much of our day have we dumped into searching for this beverage?
2 hours!
I don't even want to drink it that much. Sharla's starting to get disheartened. But I just remember I bought a t-shirt today.
Oh yeah! You bought it and it's never worn.
So the place that I'm taking Sharla now is one of my favorite little spots in Asakusa. I don't go there often, but when I do, I enjoy it. And it is very unfortunately named D-Cup. Alright, so I felt really bad that they gave us this stuff for free because I came here because I want to support this place because I love this shop. So I went to buy another drink and they were out of tapioca and she felt so bad about being out of tapioca that she gave me free tea. So I got more free stuff. I'm gonna do a shameless plug, okay? Again, this place is called D-Cup.
It's a memorable name.
Very unfortunately named. Check it out. So we still haven't given up on our goal of finding that.
I've pretty much given up.
I haven't given up. Alright?
Why are they advertising it and then not selling it?
I know,
anywhere?
they had a poster.
A huge
A massive poster.
expensive poster in the station.
Only. I totally missed that. It is only in vending machines. This coffee flavored Coke may become a reoccurring theme in my vlog until I find it. I'm gonna have problems. Alright, so that's Q&A time.
Okay. What is your take on meditation? Do you meditate?
Ah, that one as well. I've got a really good buddy actually who has been like trying to recommend meditation to me for the longest time. Yeah. And he had me download this app for it and everything that teaches you how to meditate.
Yeah.
I personally I can't get in the groove. I'm not one who sits and focuses. Me, this buddy, and another guy climbed Mount Fuji together.
Right. Yeah.
All he did the whole way up is focus on his heart rate and his breathing pace.
Yeah.
He meditated the whole way up Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
We got to the top and I'm like, that was exhausting. And he's like, I'm gonna go check out the shops, guys. He had so much energy. So I think that if you can get into the zone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. I'm really bad at just sitting and focusing on nothing. We used to meditate in Kung Fu and I hated that portion of class. Yeah. It just felt like a waste of time to me because I was obviously not doing it properly. So.
Have you tried it recently?
No, I haven't tried it since then. Yeah.
What is the biggest difference and or culture shock that you've experienced while in Japan?
Besides the obvious of there being lots of people. I feel like the hardest thing is probably people not being straight up with you about what they're thinking. I think that's the thing that, it's not like it shocked me because like we all knew that was a Japanese
but you don't realize to what level.
Way of life. But yeah, it really like, everything is like that in Japan. Friendships, relationships, business relationships. So coming from a culture like Canada's where you're very straightforward about what you're thinking, what you want, what you feel, that's been a challenge, I guess. I find it very frustrating. I just want to be like, tell me what you're thinking. Let's get to the point here. Yeah, I feel like that's probably the hardest for me.
The thing that stood out the most to me when I first came to Japan was the number of people who would walk through a crowded station like Tokyo Station just blatantly picking their nose.
Oh my god, I saw someone eat it today! I saw you, now I'm telling the world.
What's one of the best ways to learn Japanese when you're teaching yourself?
As someone who hates studying, I really like to kind of switch all my hobbies into Japanese mode. So listening to music, I would find Japanese music that I like and listen to that all the time. Watching dramas, I would find Japanese shows and watch those. If I liked reading books, I would try and find some manga that was easy enough that I could kind of understand it. And just kind of switch things into Japanese. So you're still doing the stuff you do every day, but now it's in Japanese mode and you're picking up some new words and kind of getting immersed in the language. That's how I like to do it.
When I started into drifting and car stuff, I didn't know how to talk about that stuff. So that's how I started watching Initial D.
Yeah.
So I could learn about the cars.
Yeah.
If you're not afraid of things getting a little cheesy for a bit, check out a series called Let's Learn Japanese by the Japan Foundation. I think series 1 is like 30 videos and it's like Yan and the Japanese people. It's made back in the 80s. It's super, super cheesy, but it's also really effective and good. And if you don't speak much Japanese, it's a good place to get started.
And if you are the kind of person that likes studying from books, the Genki series is always highly recommended. So maybe check that out. And what about the culture shock from when you both went back to Canada for the first time after just visiting Japan? So what about Canada kind of shocked you after experiencing Japan?
Honestly, I have one word. It's not that fancy. Walmart. I walked into Walmart after spending my first year in Japan and couldn't believe how big it was.
Yeah.
And how much stuff there was.
They do have similar stores like Don Quixote, but it's not like big.
But it's like,
it's not really cheap either.
Not high ceilings and like, it's not like a warehouse.
Yeah, there's none of that warehouse feeling.
It was Walmart. I know it's not the most interesting answer, but...
The thing that always gets me is customer service and how rude people are in Canada. That kind of goes back to the like being straightforward about how you feel. But if someone's in a bad mood and they're a cashier, they'll treat you like shit. They're having a bad day, you're gonna have a bad day. In Japan, everybody kind of like internalizes that, and they always have a smile on their face. They're always super happy to serve you.
Yeah. They're happy until you can like actually read the atmosphere.
Yeah. Like they always have a very nice fake smile tone to their voice. But in Canada, often you'll find people that are just like, I hate my job. And you could totally tell they hate my job. Here's your stuff. Go. So that always kind of like, it's always a little weird to get used to again.
Brenda here asks one that I definitely can't answer, but Sharla can. And actually, we've been spending a lot of time talking today about you being a vegan.
Okay.
As a vegan, is it hard to live in Japan? And I'm gonna try and widen that a little bit and be, as a vegan, is it hard to live in Japan? Or as somebody with like a restricted diet, do you feel it's hard to live in Japan?
For someone, just like one thing that makes it really hard is restaurants here aren't open to making switches in their menu. So if you ask for something without this, or maybe can you put this on instead of this? Can I have soy milk instead of regular milk? If it's not on the menu, they'll usually be pretty like no about it. They won't let you. So that's one thing that makes it really hard. So you really do need the specific like gluten-free restaurants, vegan restaurants, vegetarian restaurants, if that's the kind of food you're looking for. Also something that makes it hard, if you're the kind of vegan or vegetarian that really likes the meat replacement foods like tofu dogs or tofu burgers, fake chicken nuggets, all that like good stuff you can get in Canada and America. They don't have any of that here, so you kind of need to learn to just cut out that whole section of your diet and replace it with other things. Myself, I'm okay living without it. I do really like that kind of stuff, so when I go back to Canada, I kind of binge on it. But that is one other thing that can make it kind of hard. It's definitely not an easy country to be vegan in.
I don't have any real dietary restrictions other than the ones that I place on myself, but my little brother came to Japan and he cannot have anything with gluten. It's got to be gluten-free. But I'm going to say that I know nothing about that. But he was so excited to be in Japan.
Because of the rice?
Because the rice, and there's so many shops that make like cakes and like all this other stuff out of rice.
That's true.
That are really, really good cakes. And he's like, I haven't had cake in 5 years. This is so exciting. There's one shop actually in Asakusa where he went out and he, on his last day, filled his suitcase with cakes and took them back.
And brought them back. Yeah, if you're just gluten-free and not vegan, then you do have all those options. I never even thought of that. Have you ever regretted moving to Japan? No, not at all.
Not in the least.
No. If I was still in Canada, I feel like I'd be so bored with my life right now. No, it was definitely a good choice. Even if I had like times where I didn't like living here, I never felt like I regretted it because it was always an adventure and I was always learning something.
I think that no matter where you go, you're gonna have good experiences, bad experiences, good people, bad people. You know, there are people who come to Japan, they choose to come to Japan, and then they complain about this, that, the next thing, and that's totally their right. But I feel that they're missing out on all the amazing things around them by just filling their life with that negativity. So yeah, I've had good days, I had bad days, but there's no point in regretting it.
No, I've never regretted it. Yeah. What was the hardest thing right after moving to Japan? She's going to be moving there in a few years. All right. For me, when I get asked that question, I don't really have an answer because honestly, I didn't really have much trouble when I moved here. I was really lucky and I had lots of friends that were already living here in Japan. I had lots of Japanese friends. I had a couple foreign friends that lived here already. So if I ever needed help with something, I had lots of help. I had a big support group. But one of the big changes for me was getting everywhere by walking or bicycle. And my first job was really far from my house. It was probably a 45-minute bike ride up a really steep hill. And I lived in northern Japan, which means snow up to here in the winter. And I would bike through that to work every day. I lost so much weight. It was insane. It was great exercise. But yeah, that was a big change for me because I'm used to the transit system in Canada. Take the bus everywhere. How about you?
Well, I spent a little bit of time in the countryside, but pretty much came straight to Tokyo. Right. Transportation wasn't an issue, but I got really, really unlucky. Based on the timing of when I came to Japan, 9 of my Japanese friends decided to move overseas and go to school or start work or something right at that time. So I had like 2 of my friends that I knew still here in Japan, and only one of them in Tokyo. So kind of getting out there and building a life from scratch, being social, finding events you can get involved in, finding communities that you can become a part of, meeting people, making friends, and building a life that doesn't like rely on just one person, or that isn't just focused on work. Building an actual, real, integrated life from zero, coming here from adulthood, that was a challenge, but it was also super exciting and super fun.
Yeah, it's nice to get that fresh start sometimes too, so that can be a good thing.
What are some things that you wish Japan was a little more Canadian about?
The only thing that I really don't like here that I feel like is something important that I kind of miss about Canada is that the police don't really take things seriously. So if you have like a stalker problem and you tell them about it, they just kind of tell you like, oh, come back if he hurts you. Like they say that to you. They're like, well, he didn't do anything to you, so we can't really do anything about it. Come back when he like hurts you or kills you.
I can't even say anything about that. That's terrible.
So stuff like that make me feel kind of unsafe here. However, Japan's a very, very safe country, and it's probably pretty rare that you would have a problem, but like knowing that I don't have the security of a good police system is kind of scary. So I feel like I would kind of like to bring the Canadian police, who can be kind of over serious about stuff sometimes. Like I've gotten in trouble for just standing outside late at night before because they thought, I don't know, I was doing something sketchy. But at least they take things seriously.
You are pretty sketchy.
So yeah, that would be my answer.
I saw this one come up last night. I went to bed really late and I saw this one come in. I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and honestly I think this one, and I don't mean this in like a negative or judgmental way at all, but there's nothing that I wish Japan was a little more Canadian about. I fell in love with Japan because Japan is Japan. It is so different and it is so opposite from where we come from, even stuff like that. True. For me personally, challenge builds life, and I came out to Japan because it would be a fresh and new challenge. Every single part of the life, from language to making new friends to getting a job to getting a visa to you name it, the cultural aspect. People aren't direct, learning to read between the lines. The daily life and the grind is what I thrive on. And Japan is Japan. It has its pluses, and trust me, it has its minuses, and I love it for both of those. If you're gonna survive in a country like Japan, you have to be able to accept not just the beauty that's around you, but you have to accept that for every plus, there's an equal and just as strong minus, and you gotta love it for both. It comes that way with, you know, countries, with people, whatever it is. That being said, Canada is Canada, and I love Canada. You know what I really miss?
Tim Hortons.
Oh my god. Yeah. Sour cream and bacon chips.
Oh!
He says to the vegan.
Can you get those online?
Alright guys, so that was my first ever Q&A.
Yay!
Yay, super excited.
Did you enjoy it? Give him a thumbs up. Make him do more.
Make me do more. You know, honestly, this was a lot of fun, and I definitely couldn't have done it without Sharla's help, so thank you very much. Thank you to every single one of you who sent in your questions. If you have any other questions or anything that you'd like me to do a Q&A about in the future, whether it be by myself or with Sharla, leave it in the comments below.
Please do that.
Awesome. Also, this is the shirt I bought today.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not a bad shirt.
It's very like...
I got it because I've been feeling that I need more colorful clothing.
You do wear very simple clothing.
Yeah. And I just wanted something.
This is a good first step.
Too much. Alright, any final words? I know you want me to find the code, don't you? Okay, alright. Promise I'll find the code.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, vlog.
See you soon. Bye. It's always good to spend some time with Sharla. And now I have to make a stop at the Wired Hotel. I presented at an event for Wired Hotel a little while ago. They're having the same event today. I was supposed to come as a guest, but something else got in the way. Long story short, there's a big media company in Japan called NHK, and I'm gonna be on NHK radio sometime this month. We had a meeting for today, it got canceled, so I thought I could come to this thing, and then all of a sudden I got an email tonight saying that the meeting is on, but it's gonna be a phone meeting, and so basically I'm just coming out here to say sorry for bailing, because adults have to do things like that. That's Autumn in there. She's the one I'm gonna have to go apologize to.
So the goal of this event is to introduce people to hidden places in Tokyo. So places that they normally wouldn't go to, places they wouldn't find out about unless someone told them about it. And so before you presented in Workiga, and now this time we have 4 presenters and places actually experience Tokyo, not just stay here. Yeah.